So I started recording at 11:11. Can you believe that? This message is apparently meant to be. I want to thank a certain celebrity for sending me a really, really cute Valentine's Day message via text, cute little video. That really made my day, so thank you so much. Is something that's been coming up a lot. Oh, and thank you for the person who sent me those flowers as well. That was freaking awesome. I took the daytime to just barrel through a bunch of accounting and paperwork and bookkeeping I've been putting off for a long time. And oh my gosh, it was so liberating. If there's been anything that you guys have been holding back on doing for a while, Lord, will you feel good and exhilarated when you're done. Like Valentine's Day for me was freaking awesome because it lifted the hugest load off. I mean, I just took hours and hours and just buried myself in it till I was completely out. I was out of that whole thing. I could actually relax at night and not have something like weighing on me and kind of like taunting me. Well, you haven't gotten this done. You haven't done this. You can't totally relax, you know? Anyway. Oh, I'm going to get something to drink real quick. Okay, I'm back. So this has just been coming up so much lately. It started with a tweet yesterday. And someone was talking about how there's so many old, outdated beliefs going on out there, you guys. That's one thing I'm here to do, is dispel all the old things and give people freedom, because it's like people need to be liberated. It was so funny too. I found this Instagram post this morning and I just started cracking up because it said, tradition, peer pressure from dead people. I started laughing. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, that's what that is. That's so funny. Anyway, I'm Miss Unconventional. Call me Miss Unconventional. I don't know, but I take these old things that are keeping people stuck and I go shine light on it, you know, and help free people from those types of things. And one of those things is that you should stay married to somebody awful forever until those kids like graduate and go on to college. I mean, it is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard in my life. If you are in a relationship or married to somebody who is not treating you well, get the hell out, whether you have kids or not, you guys. All right, so here's my argument. No, I'm not a mother. Never have been. I had an ectopic pregnancy once, so maybe for just a moment, a blink, I had a kid. But I've been a live-in nanny for years, and I babysat my whole life. I know a lot of people with kids. So I know I'm not a mother, but just hear me out here, okay? And I've studied some things. For the number one thing that I take into consideration whenever I have these consultations and people start talking about this type of a scenario, I say, how old is the child? I just got chills. If the child is under 5 years old, they need as much attention, affection, touch, and love and soothing as possible. Now, I'm not saying that they need both people for that, or actually it could be the opposite. They need only one parent for that. But it's crucial to their development up until the age of 5 that they get that, right? After 5, they learn to self-soothe, and it's a little better. But so if they say, oh, my kid is over 5 or something like that, then I'm just like, yeah, go for it, do it, get out of there. Because our kids learn from example. They don't learn from our words. You can tell that child, you know, when it gets up in its teens and whatnot, you can say, you know, I really want you to be with a loving man. I really want you to be with the perfect person for you. And they're going to be like, yeah, bullshit. You never had that. I never had that example growing up. What does that even look like? Are you kidding me right now? You stayed stuck in an abusive situation. I saw you guys fighting and arguing and being fake all the time. I knew you wanted to leave. I could feel it. Your kids are not stupid. They feel the tension in the air between the two of you. They see you going to your separate areas. They see one of you ignoring the other and the other begging for attention, perhaps. Or, I mean, there's so many different unhealthy dynamics out there. They can tell that you are not happy. You're not fooling anybody. And you're teaching them to grow up to be fake and manipulative like what they saw growing up. Now, a lot of people are able to get over that. And I will say this, that we are born into the parents that we have for a reason. So, but that doesn't mean that those parents should stick together. It means that that child has some karma with those parents. It needs to work out. Whether they stayed together for a couple of years at the very beginning and somebody took off or whatever happens, and then, you know, or they stay together 20 years, it doesn't even matter. The exposure, if the child will get exposed to you for a reason, right? And then the child will grow up to have to heal whatever that is. You're going to always have to need healing. You're not going to create this perfect environment, especially not by staying in a toxic situation, that will provide this perfect thing for this child to be this perfect person when they grow into an adult. There has to be pain. There has to be growth. There has to be all of that, okay? You know, and what do you want your child to grow up seeing? And many of you, I would say all of you actually, the ones that come to me, they come to me for a reason. It's because I'm here to shine a light on these situations. I'm also here to help true love come together because I really believe in the power of love. I just do. Call me naive or whatever, but I've seen it. I've seen it. And I believe in true love. And I believe, and I have seen the difference between the way karmics and their people act together and what true love acts like. For one, just watch all the romantic comedies, okay? Based off of real life stories. They really are. So you have the person who is just after your money, right? And they're just after the materialism and they really want the, and you know, you think they're going to be making good decisions for your children, by the way. That's just a little side note. Seriously, they're going to encourage your kids to go be with the popular kids. They're going to encourage the kids to grow up to want all these materialistic things. And that's what they're going to be influenced by. Is that karmic? No. Okay, so that's my first. I'm so on a soapbox right now. Lord. Okay, but so then you have, in the movie, you have the guy that's, or the girl or whoever's with the karmic, right? And they're being treated like crap. And the kids have to watch their parent be put down and constantly like either belittled or manipulated or played with, or all this drama or whatever is going on. And they're watching that, right? But then there may not be kids involved even at this point. Then you've got them when they meet their true love and they're like, wow, somebody gets me. Somebody sees me. When I sing my song, it gives them chills and makes them cry. When I sing my song to my karmic, they don't care, or they don't get it, or whatever it is. There's a dramatic difference between a true love and somebody you're just there to learn lessons from, and somebody who's just out for materialism. They may fake loving you. I've been in that situation. Trust me, I've been in that situation. I don't know if he's watching my channel, so I'm not going to go too much into it, but they're fakes and they're phonies, and they know how to act like they have compassion and that they're loving people, and they're not. And you know it because they have no compassion. They have no true compassion. They don't empathize. They don't really care about others or you, especially you. Especially if you're contradicting them. If you want something different than what they want, oh man. And that's when you see their colors, though. You know, a true love is going to be actually wanting for you what you want for you as well. And they're going to really listen to you. They're going to really listen and hear you and want truly what's best for you, even if it's against what they want. So I just posted some stuff on Instagram you should probably watch if you have been in that situation or are in that situation about narcissists. Because you'll learn a lot about how they play you and how they keep you hooked in. And am I saying it's going to be easy to leave this person with your kid and go be a single parent? No. It's definitely not for you. It's not going to be easy, right? Because number one, a lot of these people that you're leaving are gonna be like totally abusive, horrible to you, threaten you and everything. So here's my little piece of advice on that. If you truly feel like you could be in danger, like this person is going to abuse you physically or do something to try to harm you, you need to come up with a sneaky little plan B. You need to come up with a getaway plan. You need to figure out like how to safely get you and your child or children out of the house, go live with a friend that he doesn't know about or a location he doesn't know. I mean, I did this and he found me anyway. He tracked me down. But he even like, oh my gosh, he like called my parents and cried to my parents saying that I had lost my mind and I was off my rocker. A lot of my friends thought that we were just this gorgeous, perfect couple that were just like, oh my gosh, you guys are like, and they thought I was crazy. They were like, how could you leave him? How could you possibly leave him? Like, he's perfect. You guys are like this perfect it couple. And I was like, it was an illusion. You guys didn't know what was going on behind closed doors. You guys were assuming a lot. And he had a really great facade. And he seemed amazing to all of our friends and family and everything. And he was even amazing a lot with me, but it was fake. And it took time for me to see that he was just doing whatever he had to do to keep me going along. And you'll learn that about narcissists, not putting any labels on him. I'm just saying, get out of that situation, come up with a plan B, come up with an escape plan, put some money away. You guys don't even worry about or care about the money. Like, don't even worry about that kind of stuff, because it's like the universe will take care of you when you go to love yourself and take care of yourself. Period. I know a woman who says, it was so cool. Like, I went to one of her parties and she and I really bonded. And she goes, Amy, I left my husband with 25 cents in my pocket and now I'm a millionaire. So, and she was older. She was like 50 something when she left him. You guys have no excuse. You seriously don't. You're just like, some of you are just staying stuck just because it's more comfortable than the leaving. But okay, all right. So I just heard one of you say, I don't want to put my kids through all that trauma. I don't want to put them through all that pain and all of that whirlwind, right? Rip the damn Band-Aid off and do it fast. Like, get the heck out of there. And then you explain to the child that it's the best thing that's ever going to happen to them. And then you prove that to them. Seriously, like, whatever decisions that you make that pertain to your child, you are the one that plants the ideas in their head. I even had, this is a little bit of a sidetrack, but I had someone who was like, I want a sperm donor because my masculine's not showing up. I want to freeze my eggs or like get a donor or something like that. But how am I going to explain to my kid that they don't know their father, or they're not going to know their father and all this kind of stuff? And I said, is that the story you're going to tell your kid? If that's the story you're going to tell your kid, your poor kid's going to grow up traumatized and feel like he or she is missing out on something big time. They're going to have a huge hole in their heart. I was like, but it all depends on you and your own mentality and what you decide to believe about the situation. And then you give that to the child. You lend your belief, your faith to that child. And if it's a healthy mindset, you're going to help your kid grow up to have a healthy mindset about it. So in other words, you could tell your kid, you know what? Mommy was in love with someone and that someone did nothing about it. No, but you could use some kind of a story about, Mommy thought you were so special. She needed to have you come forward. She was getting too old to be able to have kids. And so she had to do something dramatic or drastic to make that happen. And that's how special you are. That's how loved you are. Mommy wanted you so bad that she had to get a sperm donor to have you. But that's how special you are. Paint the picture like that. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Paint the picture in such a light that they feel special. And you can always do that. I don't care what situation. You just got to get a little creative, okay? So your person's in jail or something, right? So that would be a tough one. But then you got to be like, you know what? I don't know what you'd have to make up. But everything can be turned around to a positive, and that kid can actually go around Hopefully not, because hopefully they're not boasters, but they could be going around school. I was a test tube baby, you know. I don't even know who my father is, and it doesn't matter because I was so special. My mom wanted me. You know, it's like you are the one that's going to implant the ideas or the trauma in the child. You know why the kid's traumatized? You know why the kid walks around all upset about their life? It's because you sat there moping and feeling guilty because you were looking at it wrong and it got projected onto your kid. Where else does the kid even get these ideas? You know, they have pure little innocent minds. They don't come up with this stuff like, because I don't know who my father, I mean, maybe they'll get it from a movie or something, you know, because I didn't know who my parent was, I'll never know who I am. Well, they need to read Eckhart Tolle. They need to read A New Earth and discover that it doesn't matter at all. It's just a stupid story. Choose a good story or a bad story to believe, but either way, it's up to you. And if you're the parent, you are responsible for creating a story that empowers them and makes them feel special and makes them feel good about whatever it is they're going to go through. And you can make even a divorce special. Show them that change is a normal thing for human beings to go through. Show them that change is good. Change can be exciting. We're going on an adventure. We're going to go live in our own place. You're going to get your own bedroom or your own couch, and you can pick it out. The very best couch in the whole place. And we'll get balloons. We'll put balloons all over the couch. Or, like, God, there was a great black and white movie about the Holocaust. That was, oh my gosh, it was such a great movie. If somebody knows what I'm talking about, like, definitely comment below. It's something about happiness or something. Man, it was such a great example because they were in the Holocaust, and this father used his imagination and creativity to really make his kid believe that he was actually playing a game. And the kid actually survived. I mean, it just gives me chills. It's such an amazing story. So amazing and inspiring. So I'm just saying. And, you know, I mean, shoot, I went through a divorce, right? And I didn't really have a mom. I mean, I had a mom, but she wasn't like a mom. She never told me how to dress or put on makeup or do hair. I didn't know how to do any of that. I had to learn that all on my own. And I was a little jealous in high school. You know, the other girls knew how to look pretty and stuff, and I didn't. And I had to like look it up on the internet or like ask people. And I was all, how do you, when you're a tomboy, like how do you ask somebody, I could never do that. I could never do that. So I looked for hints and clues. I asked maybe, I don't even remember asking anybody. I must have just figured it out. Oh yeah, so then though, I embraced it. Like in high school, I used to just be kind of mad, as a part of me, like why couldn't I have had a normal mom? Because my mom was handicapped and she couldn't even talk very much or anything. So may as well not have had one. And she was like a worry wart, so I always had to be her mother. But it's like, so I was a little resentful sometimes, like seeing some of these girls walking around all wearing designer stuff and looking incredible and everything. And I'd just be like, I have no clue even what is in that world or what that even looks like. And, or even how to go there, or if I would even want to, right? So, but then I discovered that about myself. I said, you know what? I have a bias. I don't like having a bias, and I don't like thinking that pretty girls are bad. I didn't like that. I like liking people, or at least feeling neutral and clear about things. So I decided to actually had an opportunity. A friend of mine went to a modeling agency in Beverly Hills, and we went and signed up together. She got me to do it, and I said, you know what? I'm going to face my fear. I'm going to face my fear, and I'm just going to go do it. And I would stand on the streets in Beverly Hills with these like things, like partitions around me, and I had like people like Tiffany's makeup artists do all my makeup and hair, and I got all these cool pictures done. And I did cover girl conventions. I was like, you know, spread out on cars with guys. True story. But I went through all that, and then I found out there's cocaine at all the parties, and you have to sleep with all the directors to get the parts in the movies. And I was like, this really sucks. This is not me at all. I do not like this. So I got out of it. But I did that. I grew up the way I grew up, but I decided to make changes to whatever I needed to, you know, kind of counterbalance whatever karma was there for me, right? And I did it. I overcame it. And then as a result of that experience, I learned how to do my hair, put on makeup, value looking really nice sometimes. You know, I know how to get spruced up for a date, and I feel good when I take pictures or do videos where I look really good. But I'm also okay totally being with, you know, myself with no makeup on, my hair looking terrible, and my sweats. It made me very balanced. But it was because I decided to face my fears. And your kid can do that too, no matter what you do to them, no matter how you mess them up. So I'm just saying, you know, oh, here's what I was going to say too, is my dad made it special when we went through our divorce. It was hard because what was hard for me is that my dad was like drinking like crazy, like just, and was furious. You know, he was pretty pissed off. And, you know, when your parent acts like that, you don't know how to deal with it as a kid. You don't have anybody to, I didn't have anybody to talk to. I just sat there watching him stare into the fire, pissed off and drinking, right? So I was like, I don't know what to do. But here's the smart thing he did, okay? He would write me love letters. He would write me these letters saying, you are such a precious girl. I love you so much. You are my sunshine in my life. He would sing to me, you are my sunshine. He would do the sweetest, most special things. And there would be moments when we had a like a 3-story home, and it had like this big hall in the entrance. And we had a piano down there. I never did get really good at playing piano or anything. I was more of a noise, but he would put on music sometimes and invite me down the stairs, and I'd come down like a princess because I would know what he was doing with that music, you know, and then I'd stand on his feet and he would dance with me. And he would say, you know, he would just talk about what a beautiful soul I was, what a beautiful person I was. It wasn't about my looks and how beautiful I was or any of that. It was like, you are a good person. You know, you love animals and you are kind and he just really nurtured all that good stuff, all the important stuff, and made me feel really special. And then he'd slip notes under my door sometimes and say these really sweet things to me. And then on Friday mornings, he would take me out for donuts, and we'd watch the sun come up in a little donut shop downtown Marysville, Washington. And it was special. He made it really special, you know. And yes, there was bad stuff in there, of course. And yes, in some ways, if my mom would have been there, that things would have been different. But it's all just like my mom and dad, they weren't abusive or toxic or anything like that. It was more toxic probably when they did separate, actually, come to think of it. But, you know, if you guys want to know more about that story, I have a video that I did. It's called Holy Father, Grant Us Peace. You can watch that for more details. But anyway, as a general rule, if you are in a toxic situation, just get out and make it a great experience. Show your kid that it's okay to cry. Dude, if my dad would have like sat me on his lap and said, Amy, you know, sometimes when you get to be a grown-up, there's really, really, really hard stuff to take, and you just got to cry it out. And sometimes you just have to have a drink. I remember this really nice lady who let me stay with her after I broke up with this one guy. She let me stay in her like guest bedroom for a few days, and she cracked open some wine, and I was, oh no, I can't do it. I was so Christian back then. Oh no, I can't drink. No, I can't. No. And then she says, give a grieving widow wine, and she used like a Bible verse. Give a grieving widow wine. And I just was like, okay. And I started drinking, you know, and she was so cool about it. And she was just, it was so neat. But, you know, if my dad would have just explained, you know, grown-ups, they go through hard stuff sometimes and we cry, but it's okay. And it's not about you. You know, it has nothing to do with you. And I don't even need to go into the details of what it was about, maybe when you're an adult, but you should just know that it's okay to cry. And if you ever feel like crying, you can do that. You know, go up to your room, shut the door, scream into your pillow, do whatever you need to do. You got to get your feelings out. That would have been so cool, you know? So include your kids in on what life really looks like. Show them not to be a fake or a phony. Show them to strive and make sacrifices for what truly makes them happy. Teach them that, you know what, mom just wasn't happy in that situation. She really felt like she had to walk on eggshells around daddy, and she felt kind of scared of him, and she had to go be brave. And you and I had to kind of sneak off and go do our own thing, because you know what, we want to be happy, don't we? We want to go eat ice cream on the beach without coming back and having repercussions, or that type of thing. Just like, I don't know what your situation is, so I'm just making stuff up here. Don't get too literal with what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, explain it to them, not in a way that puts your ex in a bad light either necessarily, but just maybe talk about your own feelings and how it made you feel and how you wanted to be happy, and you want the both of you to be happy, or all of you to be happy. And I will guarantee you, if this involves a true love on the other side of this, here's the other thing I say too: leave the situation for you, not for your true love. Leave the situation because you love yourself enough to do that, to get in a healthier situation. Number one, get in your own place, get in your own power, feel good about yourself, get rid of the person, and start like forming a life. Then bring in your true love. Then you bring that situation in, and I will guarantee you that kid will see the difference between you and that karmic person from before versus the one that's your true love. They will be like, oh my God, and they will just light up, and they will feel the acceptance that the true love has for their daddy or their mommy. They will feel that, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, wow, that's what it's like to have somebody really love you for who you are. You know what I mean? It'll warm their hearts. It'll touch them. It'll inspire them. And they'll be like, I want that. I want that someday when I get to be an adult. I want that kind of a beautiful connection with somebody that's like my best friend and lover. And, that's how you do it. But you got to be brave. And sometimes you really do have to escape. And I will say this, I will add this little story too. I talked to this one gal, and I had this talk with her, and I said, you need to get out of there with your son. You need to get away from this person. Whoa, that was Siri. She just popped on out of nowhere. I do not have her set to on. She didn't say anything, but just that like sound went on. Weird. Oh, it's the woman it's the woman I'm talking about. That just gave me freaking chills, you guys, because I told her, oh my God, that was her. Oh, I told her, you need to get out of that situation, and now. And she was downplaying it. No, he would never hurt me. He would never do anything. He would never this. And I felt it. Go to a psychic. They'll tell you. They'll feel that person. Somebody who's good anyway. But yeah, I was like, no, he doesn't feel right to me. He doesn't feel right. He feels vindictive. He feels like he's going to try something. He feels like he's going to, you know what I mean? I was like warning her about it. And like a few days later, the woman's sister called, and she said, she's dead. And she said she came to you and you told her to leave. And I just like, oh my God. She's like, can you please just bring our family some peace and tell us what happened? Tell us everything you can. And we did a session, and and the gal, it was so weird that I'd just known her just a few days prior, and then she was gone. And then I was speaking on her behalf to her family. Whoo, you guys got to listen to psychics. You guys got to listen to your own gut. You got to listen to your own intuition, because now her kids are in the hands of somebody really awful. So yeah. Get out, though. Get out safely and have a really good plan. And even if you think your plan's good, have a better plan. And have a plan for what might happen if something, because I was not anticipating my person going to the end of the earth to find me. And no, it was not love. It was ego. So don't flatter yourself and think this because this person's chasing you down, it's because they love you. No. They want the money. They want to look good. I made him look really good. I made him look real good. I made him look like a good person. So he couldn't get me back. He tried real hard. He even was super impressed that he couldn't win me back, believe it or not. He actually admitted that. Then started going to church. He had to do something to start looking good, right? He had to do something to kind of save face. But I knew if I went back, I'd be dead. I just knew that. I was like, no, I'm not going to let him trick me and act like everything's going to be fine if we get back together. Mm-mm-mm. I knew that was a bad situation to go back into, and I could never trust him again. So get out, get your kids out, and go live a happy life with your true love. Let them see that example. Get out because you love yourself enough to do that. And you can read articles. I didn't even think to do that back in my situation. I fled so fast that I didn't even have time to really think about it much. But, go do some research on finding out how to, what are your rights? Go see an attorney even. What can I do? What can I not do? How do I get my money out safely without them taking everything? How do I, some of you just need to, yeah. I pretty much just took all the money in the safe and ran. So, and I missed out on getting a lot of money, a lot of money from that because he hid it and all kinds of stuff. But I'm really glad that I didn't end up, using his kind of blood money, if you will, anyway. I did it on my own. What I have now is what I created, what I did. So do what's best for you and love yourself. If you need help, I'm here for you. I've been through just about everything, you guys. So if you want to do a remote reading, please do so. I do 20 minutes or 45 minutes. Somebody asked me the other day, I want to use your pet psychic services. I don't see that on your site. And I said, well, I do everything in all of my services. So just order the period of time that you want, either 20 or 45 minutes. That's pretty much as easy as it is. You get my healing, you get a light language blessing, you get all my advice, you get the cards, whatever you want, whatever will help you. I can help you learn how to do Byron Katie's work, all of the above. Okay, so you got me for whatever time period that is to do with whatever you want. I can heal your pet, I can talk to your pet, I do all of it in that period of time. So just select remote reading or in-person reading. That's pretty much the biggest decision you'll make. And then the next one was 20 minutes or 45 minutes. So it's pretty simple. And I believe it explains that in when you first go to the services tab. I think I explained that all in the top part, but a lot of people don't take the time to read it. Anyway, go live your best life. Do what's best for you. You know what's best for you. Go be big, brave, and courageous, and go create and make your life how you want it to be. I don't have any regrets. So, all right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.